Hi, I'm Dr. David Baker Hargrove.
And I'm Robert Baker Hargrove, and we're at the top of your inbox.
This is the place where we come together to bring to you all of our years of lessons learned from owning and operating businesses both independently and together.
And our goal is to provide you with a little bit of a business bite to help your business grow and your leaders develop. So Dr. Dave, what's at the top of your inbox today?
So today I thought that we would talk about balancing work life and family life and your personal time and really just giving some ideas on how to do that.
It really is a constant struggle. So, when you're thinking about it, you really kind of are struggling with what's the priority at the time, but you always want to make sure that you're giving your all. So you're always trying to figure out which one can you give your all to the most at that time, if that makes sense. What are your thoughts?
Well, one thing that I learned a really long time ago or figured out, I guess, is probably the more truth of the situation, is that there's never going to be an end of what there is to do when it comes to your work. So whether you're working as a leader in a large organization or you're running your own business, it doesn't matter. There's never going to be an end. So if you devote all of your time to working because you think that at some point you're going to get to the end, it ain't going to happen.
Yeah, it's always like there's always an endless list of things that you have to get done. So it's about trying to find that balance of when can you stop and when can you start, and really kind of controlling the tug and pull on you. And it is a struggle. It's one of those things to where you always want to give your best, but you're trying to find, when your best is, you kind of end your best, and you're like, okay, I'm still giving my best, but I'm giving my best somewhere else right now. What's really interesting about that in itself from a work-life balance is that life is always a constant struggle and balance no matter what. You try and focus on yourself, you try and focus on your work, you try and focus on your family, but when do you make sure that you're also not neglecting yourself? So life is really just a constant struggle about balance in life.
Yes, and organization is the key. We've done a lot of videos on how to become more organized and how to be more efficient with your time. However, it's also a mindset that you have to dedicate yourself to not only just your work, but also to your personal time or your family life, and maybe all three, and when you think about it, we all have the same amount of time in a day, and we have to figure out how we're going to spend those times and distribute that between work, personal time, family time.
And don't forget about sleeping. Sleeping's in there too, yeah.
So, so it's not just about organization, it's also about mindset. You have to decide that all of these things are worth your energy.
Absolutely. And it's one of those things you have to find out, how do you also recharge your battery? So that's, when you're thinking about yourself, there's also, like you were saying, the personal time, the family time, but what are you doing for yourself to continually keep yourself energized? And sleeping is a great one. The other thing is water. I know that that's kind of an old cliche, but it really does help.
Yeah, and sometimes it doesn't need to be like a big thing, So like for me, one of the ways that I really recharge and do kind of like me time is that I like to read fiction. And, and sometimes it's several bursts of like 10 minutes a day that I open up my Kindle and, and then I read for, maybe 10 minutes or so. And it just really helps me kind of, have my mind available to do other things when I'm not doing that. It's a brain break. It's a brain break.
Well, and for me, one of the things that I think is really interesting that keeps me reminded is when our dog comes in and kind of like scratches at my leg or something. It's like, give me attention, give me attention, give me attention.
Like she did during this video.
And so you kind of have to take a moment, give her some time, and then keep on going. But that's a really fun reminder of, hey, take a moment. I give her the attention, which actually gives back to myself as well, and then continue going on.
Yeah, and so again, it's really about being able to set boundaries as well, because, if you have a strenuous job, whether it's yours or somebody else's company that you are leading, or whether you have kids, kids are a big draw on your time.
Yes.
And it's really important to be able to establish healthy boundaries with them that kind of helps cultivate that relationship, you know, and not letting it frustrate you when they pull on you, you know, you have to think about there's a better way to do that. And part of that is just setting healthy boundaries.
And we're laughing because our
There's the
dog just
dog
came
again.
running around underneath us. So if any of this sounds very interesting to you and you like help with this, you can reach out to me at robertbakerhargrove.com.
Or me, davidbaker-hargrove.com.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel, and you can reach out to both of us at BHD Assessment and Consulting.
So until next time, we'll see you
At the top of your inbox.